This is Eldritch Song of the Magic Online clan Seraphim, and it's time for another cube draft. So let's take a look at this first pack. White looks good here with Student of Warfare kind of stands out. Everything else in this top half, besides maybe Maelstrom Pulse, is a bit weak. We do have a Jace the Mind Sculptor here, a Revelark, some okay red cards. So taking a look at this pack, I don't think there's any way for me to justify not taking Jace the Mind Sculptor, especially when the only other blue card in the pack is Thirst for Knowledge, which is not really. I mean, it's a decent draw spell, but there's so much draw in blue anyway that it's not like it's going to stand out to anybody. Whereas Jace the Mind Sculptor, I think, can't help but stand out. It'd be, I guess, cliche, but it might be nice to go maybe UW Control or something like that. But I doubt White will be open for that much longer, considering that both Student of Warfare and Revelark are quite awesome. Neither of them are necessarily good for control, but they're both okay. But I'm going to go ahead and take Jace the Mind Sculptor here and see what the rest of this draft looks like. Pack 2. Alright. So we've got a Jace the Mind Sculptor. In terms of blue, there's Aether Adept, Capsize, Force Spike, Mystical Tutor. None of those are that good, to be honest. It's possible we could try for a second color here. Maybe go into black with like an Edict or a Necrotal. There's also some decent blue cards, or scratch that, green cards. Spike Weaver, Harmonize. And I guess Force Spike or Aether Adept would be decent to pick up. Even Capsize wouldn't be bad. They're all very playable. I guess might as well stay in blue and just keep cutting that off. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, I guess, the Aether Adept. Seems like a fair pick. Okay. So Sphinx of the Lost Truths and Mole Drifter are both pretty good. There's also a Chroma's Vengeance, which is not a bad card. I don't think green's a good color to pair. I don't think red's necessarily a good color now. And so, I mean, I guess it's really between taking one of these blue cards or taking one of these white cards. I don't really want Sword of Vengeance. Sphinx of Lost Truths is okay, but I think I prefer Mole Drifter. I'm just wondering whether I want to have Mole Drifter or Chroma's Vengeance. I like Karmic Guide, but doesn't do that much as of yet. I think I'd rather just keep on cutting off blue and take the Mole Drifter here. Been playing blue quite a bit lately. It's not exactly my favorite color, but a first pick Jace the Mind Sculptor is a bit hard to argue against. Okay, so our first pack really without any kind of blue in it. So let's take a look. I think it's really the only card I'm seeing here. I guess there are two cards, maybe three. Graveborn Muse, Prophetic Vault, Crater Hellion are the ones that are sticking out to me. Don't really like Faith's Fetters, though blue-white's obviously a pretty good combination. Then again, so is blue-red or even blue-black. think red might be easier. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Crater Hellion here and maybe wield a Prophetic Bolt, depending on what people around me are drafting. If that doesn't come back, then I'm gonna stay away from red. Because if someone's also in blue and drafting blue-red, it's gonna choose a different secondary color. Okay. So, blue's got Callous Oppressor and Serendep Efreet. None of those cards are really, neither of those cards, I should say, are that exciting. One thing I find interesting is that Black Sun Zenith is still here. Maybe that means black is open as a secondary color? Don't really want to keep going into red, to be honest. If I was going to take a blue card here, I'd probably take the Callous Oppressor, but I have never really been that impressed with that card. I think really between Black Sun and Eternal Dragon, and possibly the Viper. Never actually played blue-green in the cube, I don't think. But I'm going to go ahead and take Black Sun, because I just think it's so much more powerful than either of those. Okay, so it seems like that taking them Black Sun was a good idea, because the two best cards in this pack are blue. I mean, not blue, but black. Willbender and Upheaval, not cards I like. There's also Dimir Signet. Between Juzam Jin and Hymn to Turach, I think for this type of deck, I'd rather have a Hymn to Turach. Because it's just a pretty insane discard spell. So I'm going to grab that and pass the rest of these. Alright, so back at our first pack. And, let's see, both of the white cards are still there. I find that hard to believe. So, could go Grixis, take a Blood Crypt, and pass the rest of these, and play red and black. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Blood Crypt and see what happens. I mean, the only card I would consider taking here would pretty much be Molten Tail Masticore or Thirst for Knowledge. I don't really have any good artifacts. So, Thirst is, I mean, it's a good late game card for sure. But there are better draw spells in the cube. Alright, so I've got choice of Mystical Tutor, Force Spike, between those two really. And I think I'd actually rather have a Force Spike than a Tutor. Okay. Well, if they're going to offer it to me, might as well take a Sword of Vengeance, but I'm not sure whether I'll be playing it or not. Couldn't hurt though, I suppose. The rest of this is not that exciting. I'm kind of surprised that white still looks pretty open. But, I don't know. Sword of Vengeance. So, it looks like someone took the Prophetic Bolt. That's a bit worrying. Oh, scratch that. I was in the wrong pack. Alright, well, when it comes down to this, I would definitely prefer to take the Prophetic Bolt. And we are going to play Grixis, which is definitely a possibility. The card, I think, will fit in quite well. And who knows, maybe we'll open up a Nicole Bolas or something like that. Alright, well, offered this. Let's go ahead and take Callous Oppressor. Okay. People or Willbender or Dimir Signet. I think if we're going to play 3 colors, or even 2 colors, I think Dimir Signet is probably still a good idea, as opposed to the rest of these. I don't like Upheaval and Willbender. No, not at all. Okay, so I get Thirst for Knowledge anyway, and really surprised that students going that late. Let's go ahead and take, I guess, the Lynx and a Skyfisher. Interesting. Okay, but now we're in our next pack. Let's see what it holds. Okay. So, nothing that exciting, to be honest. Frantic Surge and Man of War are both sweet. Liliana Spectre is nice, so is Phyrexian Arena. Let's see. Nothing else really stands out. Think of these kind of 4 cards here. I think Spectre is probably the one I like the best. Bit of card advantage, but even, technically the Frantic Search is also card advantage. I think it's between these two. Though I like Arena also. This is kind of tough. I think we'll try the Arena actually, and pass the rest of these and see what comes back. Lots of red. Lots and lots of red. Also a Lantax. It's too bad I'm not in white. There's a Yosei, a Lantax. That's about the only thing reasonable there. I do think I'm going to go ahead and commit to playing 3 colors. And if that's the case, I think Fireball wouldn't be a bad pick here. For a bit of late game reach. The only other card I would like to take out of here would be like Fleshbag. And Distress also would be a nice card to have. But I'm going to go and take the Fireball and see if that leads anywhere. Okay. So, interesting. So we have Fact or Fiction, Morphling, Ancestral Vision, Kega are all blue. That's it for those. And of those, I like Kega the best. I would take either of the other ones. And maybe even Bone Horde would come back. That wouldn't be bad either. But I think Kega is just the strongest out of those. Okay, so we got a Demon Fire. I also have a Memory Lapse. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Demon Fire and pass the rest. I like Memory Lapse, but don't think it's that necessary right now. And I think Demon Fire is just a way better Fireball. Alright, well, if we wanted counter spells, here's one. There's also Merfolk Looter, which is not a bad card. And there's Sphinx of the Steel Wind. Not that I really want to take that, but it's something. So I've got Black Sun, Hindu Turach. That's really all I got for Black Sun, the Arena. So I think I'm still going to stay in black, but... Or, what am I thinking about red? I took the Demon Fire and the Fireball. And I've got a Crater Hellion. And Prophetic Bolt, yeah. Complicated. Seems like the easiest one to go with. Okay. Let's see. Not really impressed by much of anything here. Might as well just take a Firebolt. Okay, well, Frantic Surge came back, which means somebody took the Manowar. That's not a problem, though, because I would actually rather have the Frantic Surge. And nothing else really that's that appealing. Well, both of the black cards came back, so we have the option of a fleshbag or a distress. Hand removal is good and all, but double black is kind of warning me away from it, so I'm going to go ahead and take the fleshbag. Okay, so all the blue cards came back as well. I like Fact or Fiction. Ancestral Vision is okay as well, but it's a bit slow in my opinion. There's also a Morphling and a Bone Horde. I think Fact or Fiction probably is the better card here. Alright, so this is the pack we pulled, either the Fireball or the Demon Fire from. Got a Memory Lapse. Yeah, Memory Lapse looks pretty good. And nothing that I want out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Sphinx of the Steel Wind to keep it from somebody else. And next pack came pretty fast. I'm not playing either of these. I guess I'll take the Flicker Wisp. You never know when an Earth Tommy might come in handy for a sideboard. Pyroclasm actually is not a bad one to have in case we face some kind of aggro type deck. And wow, last pick Morphling, that's not bad either. Okay. Dark Confidant, Condescend, Piana, Arc Lightning. This pack is kind of underwhelming. I would even go so far as to say very underwhelming. I guess the card I'm looking at, I think probably Condescend will come back. If it doesn't, I'm not bothered by that. I don't really like Condescend, to be honest. I prefer to have an Arc Lightning. So I'm going to pick that up. Consuming Vapors, Mimic Bat, Bone Shredder. And also some really sweet white cards. Baneslayer. See, in terms of black, got Black Sun, Hymn to Turach, Arena, Marauder. Are those cards worth taking some of these white cards? It's kind of late, I would think, to be grabbing white cards. Yeah, I'm gonna go take a Consuming Vapors. I think I missed the white bandwagon. Ooh, look at that. It's paid off. There's the Nicole Bolas Planeswalker. That makes all this worth it. I had this passionate love affair with Grixis. Alright, well that's gonna be the pick here, even though probably better card to take would be Cryptic Command. But I just love Nicole Bolas. See, if Cold Steel Heart comes back, that wouldn't be a bad card to pick up. If Cryptic Command or Repeal comes back, probably have to take those, or Crumbling Necropolis. Well, this just pack is just filled with awesomeness. Okay, well, I would like to have Crumbling Necropolis, especially now that I have a bolus. So I'm going to grab that and see if I get the Necropolis back. Love this pack. Deep Analysis or Jace Bellerin. I think the choice is pretty simple. Jace Bellerin seems like a pretty strong pick. Even though, I think a Planeswalker probably is a better move than a spell, only because it directs more attention to it. Harder to take care of. Yeah, I like Planeswalker better, even though it does, if I have to end up drawing like Jace Bellerin and Jace the Musculprit at the same time, that would be kind of a dead draw, but I like Jace Bellerin enough that it should be okay. Tinker. That's an interesting one. All the same though, probably gonna have to take a Steam Vince here. Seems like a safe pick. Yeah, I like that. Preordained seems like a good one to me. Yeah, out of all these, Preordained seems like the only one really that I can play. So, I like that. This last pack has been kind. And we're back to our first pack. Still nothing in here that I want. I guess Dark Ritual's okay. Don't think I'll play it, or any of these others. I don't think Dark Ritual is right for this deck. It's more of an aggressive type card. I think I'd rather have Rift Bolt out of all these. See, Azorius Guild Mage, if I played her, she'd only be able to use one of her abilities, which would be to counter target activated ability. Not that impressive. Rift Bolt seems like the best one there. Tezzeret the Seeker, not that, doesn't do that much in this deck. I guess I'll take a Felwar Stone. Surprised Moat went this late. Huh. Okay, Cryptic Command. Somebody took Crumbling Necropolis. That's interesting. Not sure. I guess someone else is playing Grixis, but of these, Cryptic Command is 6, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. And let's go ahead and take... Let's see, what kind of lands do we have? Blood Crypt. And we've got Signet. I think, honestly, I might want to take this Izzet Signet to help mana fix some more. Let's see. Here it's really between the Shapeshifter or Slagstorm. I think I'd rather have a Shapeshifter. Seems more cost effective. Alright, here let's go ahead and take a Bottle Gnomes. And let's go ahead and take this Buried Alive from somebody. I don't think anybody's playing Reanimate Strategy, otherwise they probably would have taken that earlier, but who knows. Okay, take a Tezzeret. And a Repeal. Alright, that looks good. So that's the deck. I'll bring it into Magic Online and start deck building, and I'll see you there. Okay, so let's start building and see where we go. Let's look at the cards we definitely want to play. So Preordain, Memory Lapse, Jace Bellerin, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Mold Drifter, Cryptic Command. And it's not necessarily go by color, otherwise we might get stuck here. I definitely want to play that. I want to play Consuming Vapors, Black Sun, Demon Fire, Arc Lightning, Prophetic Bolt. We'll see about the Signets. Complicate looks good. See, Frantic Search looks good. Kaiga, I think is a good one to have. I like Firebolt. I like Hymn to Turach. I like Phyrexian Arena. I think having a 6-drop Crater Hellion wouldn't be terrible either. Let's go ahead and throw in a Fireball, I guess. Got room for 3 more. I don't really like Repeal. Force Spike's okay. Aether Adept's not bad. Morphling. Let's see. I'm not that impressed. It's also Fact or Fiction. Or Vesuvian Shapeshifter. I think Shapeshifter is probably better. And let's take a look at our color scheme. Double blacks. I think the Dimir Signet works. And is it Signet? Let's go ahead and play both. I want to make sure that I don't have any problems. Ooh, I forgot Flesh Bag. What should I take out for Flesh Bag? I think he's too good to neglect. I think I better take out a Fireball, to be honest. Put Flesh Bag in. Let's look at our colors again. Memory Lapse, Complicate, Frantic Surge, Jace Bellerin, Jace Mind Sculptor, Cryptic Command, Mold Drifter, Shapeshifter, Kaiga, Black Sun, Vapors, Turach, Demon Fire. Yeah, that looks good. I like the way that shapes up. That actually looks quite nice. The curve is not bad either. So let's see, we've got 2 red sources already, and 1 blue and 1 black. Okay, so let's minimize that. Look at our collection and bring out some Scars lands. Okay. So I've got room for 15 land. Look at our colors. Pretty heavy blue. So I think we having 9 blue sources seems safe. And be 5 and 5. So if we add 4 swamps and 3 mountains, that's all of our land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 black sources. See, Phyrexian Arena, Black Sun, and the Cold Bolas both need 2. Could probably get away with taking out 1 blue source and bringing in an extra mountain. Having 8 blue. I guess we can count the Signets too. Got a blue there and a blue there, so that's technically 1 blue and 6, 7 swamp and 6 mountain. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. That actually looks pretty good. So we will try that. That is a Grixis, a Grixis cube deck. And we will see whether that works. So I'll see you in the matches.